Testing. Testing. Keeping it real.
Test.
I mean, he was not young, years ago. So
I like how you put that. He was not young years ago.
yeah, thousands of years ago.
I have not been young for a millennium.
That's right. He's like the Oracle of Mars or whatever from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
I don't remember that. I was like falling asleep when we recorded that.
It deserves that, really.
Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway and knew I'd rather be drunk with you.
Hey, Internet! Highway 47 back after a long absence and probably gone again because we're like that, and we are here watching some stuff tonight. I am Shaggy B. Scrodrick is off in the nether world tonight, doing unmentionable things that we can't talk about. He's, going to work. But we can't talk about that. Actually, we can. It doesn't matter. But I'm Shaggy B, and with me is Dracofunk. Say hello to the people, Draco.
Hello to the people. I'm here.
Yeah, we know that one of you has missed us. Sort of. Because we were... We know that two of you have missed us. And one of them missed what we were doing here. The other just likes to touch me, weirdly. But, I mean, that's okay, I guess.
Who wouldn't?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm okay. I don't need to touch you or anything, but
no, of course not. Why would anybody? Why would we think that? Anyway, yeah, we were requested to do this tonight, and we are going to do it. This is a special thing that we're doing right now, and it's so special that we actually decided to do it. We are watching the pilot episode of Star Trek Picard tonight. Dracofunk, what can you tell us about this episode? As we record on February the 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday.
That it's Groundhog Day. You there?
What? I'm here now, yes. What?
It is Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it is. It is Groundhog Day. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Who cares about football? We're watching Star Trek.
Funny story.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Funny story is I scheduled a thing tonight, and everybody, I called everybody and said, "Are you good with it?" And they said, "Yeah." And then they called me back and it's the Super Bowl. I'm like, no, I did not know it was a Super Bowl.
Well, I knew it was the Super Bowl for two reasons. One is that it's the first weekend in February, and that's been when the Super Bowl is since it was not in January anymore. But the second reason that I knew this was the Super Bowl day is that it's just this intuitive sense that I have because how after Christmas life kind of sucks for a while. It's every year,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the worst on Super Bowl weekend. And the part of this week, I was everybody around me was really down, and I'm like, man, what's going on? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'll bet the Super Bowl is this weekend, and I checked, and I was right.
That's kind of true. I've been really
so for me,
down.
The Super Bowl weekend is always a. You've been really what now?
I've been really down this weekend, and you're right.
Yeah. It's every year. This is the nadir of your mood for the year. Every year. So is Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, it's only up from here.
Exactly. And and in that way it's a good sign. It's like why we celebrate Christmas in the middle of winter. It has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It has everything to do with the fact that the middle of winter just sucks to live through. And so that's when we decided to have that celebration. It has nothing to do with Jesus. Send your email comments about that opinion to highway47productions@gmail.com.
Oh, we're gonna be picketed by the Westboro Baptist Church now.
Wouldn't it be great if that was the thing that got our YouTube channel, age restricted? Like we told stories about poop jokes. We made horrible references and really dark humor. I said one thing about Christmas being arbitrary. Nope, that's it. You're done.
If that happens, guys, thank you for joining us on our new hosting
SoundCloud
site,
or
Pornhub.
Absolutely. You're kidding, but I've brought the idea up before. I'm serious. We'll just put like a boob on our logo. It'll be a boob with the words 47 on it. If you would like to email your boobs with 40s. Anyway, what can you tell us about this episode of Star Trek Picard, Dracofunk?
I have stalled enough time that I can actually tell you some stuff about it. It has an IMDb rating of 8.6. This originally aired January 23rd, 2020.
Yeah, so we're only a few days behind. So what were you doing on January 23rd of 2020?
What day of the week was that?
That looks like it was a Thursday.
Well, everything comes out on Thursday. I did not have a gig that weekend, which was good.
Long weekend.
Or not that weekend, no, that day. I probably went to work and then I had a rehearsal.
Awesome. Yeah, I worked. I would have worked 12 hours that day. And I have been sick for a month. If you can't hear my voice, then I'm surprised. But yeah, I've had a cold. And speaking of which, but it's only been the last few days that I felt more or less myself. So yeah, I worked 12 hours, came home, and collapsed. That's what I did that day. It was a good old time.
Yep.
This may have an IMDb rating. I don't think we should look at it because I spoilers. And in fact, as I was waiting for you to come online, I Googled Star Trek Picard review without spoilers, and a paragraph in, was going on, and then the third paragraph is like, well, without getting into spoilers, Picard starts saying this after this happens, and I'm like, well, great. I managed to stop reading once I realized it was about to be a spoiler anyway.
So, I already told you the IMDb rating.
Oh, cool. My connection dropped. What was it?
8.6.
Oh, wow. Well, this might be pretty good.
So, today we are watching this on YouTube. CBS All Access has put the first episode temporarily on YouTube for free.
Yeah, and I will just say up front that I have absolutely no intention of buying CBS All Access, and neither should you, because we have enough streaming services, and it is frankly bullshit that the rest of the world gets to watch this on things they're already paying for, but America doesn't. So don't pay for CBS All Access, even if this is good.
What I'm planning on doing is waiting till it comes out in DVD format, and I'll probably just get that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's worth it, I probably will do that. But I am not. I'm paying for. I'm down to one streaming service. We don't have Netflix anymore because, frankly, there's nothing left on Netflix that A, isn't on Hulu, and B, the stuff that's on Hulu now that's been getting added to Hulu in the past few months is stuff that I used to watch on Netflix 10 years ago. So Hulu is just a replacement now. But I don't, I don't have cable TV for a reason. It's because I'm not willing to pay $80, $100 for TV, and I'm not going to have it substituted to me for that. So, and I'm not going to buy an entire streaming service for one show. And I think it's stupid. And we all need to hold fast on that. And, yeah. The system. That's what I'm saying, man. Anarchy. I'm done.
All right. So, if you're watching this on CBS All Access, there are going to be commercials on this, even through YouTube. We'll do our best. We're really bad at it, but we'll let you know when the commercials happen, and we'll let you know when we get back.
Awesome. We certainly will. I actually may have to cut this out. I'm using a browser with ad block, so I will not have ads. Are you using a browser with ad block?
No.
Should I switch to a browser without ad block?
Probably.
Okay, let me do that. Actually, I'm leaving that in. The system. I don't know. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay?
Get the first thing out of the way.
Get the first ad out of the way. I'm going back to the ad-free browser. And I'm just going to watch it straight. And Dracofunk is going to let you know if he encounters like an interstitial ad. And we will just deal with it as it comes. We'll clean this up in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so YouTube is loaded up. We are at 0 minutes and 0 seconds. My phalanges are hovered over the play button, as is tradition. And are you ready to go, sir?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, you people at home, who cares about football? And we're going to watch some Star Trek starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ooh, for a limited time. Oh, there's an ad anyway because CBS baked it into the video. All right.
Yeah.
We will tell you exactly when the actual episode starts. Because this is just a trailer right now.
Yeah. For the thing we're about to watch.
Okay, 19. It looks like it's 20 seconds. So start now.
No.
No, never mind. CBS. Okay, so more previews. 25, 26, 27, 28.
Now.
Yeah, so that was 28 and a half seconds. Then you start it. Do you recognize the music in the background?
Yes.
That's from the motion picture. I mean, there's Blue Skies, but under that.
That's the D.
Yeah. Yeah. He's dealing cards or something. Yep.
That's Brent Spiner.
That is, yeah. I kind of didn't expect him to be in it. What?
His tail is that he doesn't have a tail.
Data's got a cold too. Delay. To delay the inevitable.
That's 5 queens.
Of hearts. They're all queens of hearts. Man, Jonathan Frakes hasn't aged well. He probably still sits weird, though. All right, boys, sit. And he jumps over a chair.
Chateau Picard, France.
I wonder if he's like legally allowed to fix those drones that like do the work for him. Boston. Oh, hey, Jordy.
I don't think that's Jordy.
No, it's not Jordy. Whoa. Yeah, better.
Feline supplement number 72.
Yeah. Dude, that's way better than wine. Kidney punch. That's... As soon as she saw it was over 9,000, she knew she could take him. Or under 1,000. Or... Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Reactivate. You can do heart surgery. Picard, the man who sent them. Okay, this is very Truman Show suddenly.
Is that a Borg cube?
That is. D12. wonder if Jason Zimmerman is related to Herman Zimmerman. His credit was listed as production designer in the original Star Trek. He's the guy that did like the uniform.
Eugene Roddenberry?
Eugene Roddenberry, yeah. It's really weird to me. This is just sinking in that this is the first Star Trek at all after Nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of mentioned a little bit about it after in the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's true. But
I guess lore is that Geordi and Data built that time ship.
oh, interesting.
And Spock flew it.
Yeah, I knew Spock flew it. What is it?
Why would there be Vulcans in France?
Why would there be humans on Vulcan? I'll bet they're Romulan.
I was just kind of thinking that.
Yeah.
Because they're very...
He's got a little bit of the brow ridge thing, too.
Yeah. And they're smiling.
Right. That, too. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that's going to be the first question.
First question. Yeah, they're Romulan. Too late. He's already smiling. going? I thought it was a surprise.
I think they had some sort of warning.
Oh boy. This is getting rather brilliantly uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't imagine it. This is where you end the interview.
I thought they weren't supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, but you know how news people are. They say the thing that makes the most people upset.
Because no longer stopping. Of the rest of land, water, not just tolerable, downright criminal. Take them. Idea. You have no idea. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Commercial.
Woo! We're back, maybe.
Yeah.
That seemed like Captain Picard.
Unfortunately, that also seemed like what a lot of news agency reporters will do.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta take a number 2.
Yeah. You're fine.
Is she Nurse Ugawa's daughter?
That would be interesting. Don't do it to me. Every time I've had a concussion, it made the universe stop tasting purple. I'll accept that as payment for the tea.
Dodge?
Dodge.
Is that like Doge?
I think it is.
So deep.
You're both Borg? That's lol. I think I'm crazy.
I think you're
No.
crazy too. She said her name was Dodge,
Uh-huh.
not Lol. Is that like a couch on fire?
Yeah, the hollow emitters are a little weird right now. It's just, I mean, it looks on fire, but it's probably fine. Just don't worry.
I thought Chateau Picard burned down in Generations.
The editing style in this is like a little bit disorienting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like things aren't really happening in real time. Oh well, okay, he's dreaming, so that explains that. But like in general, it's like stuff is not. I'm having trouble like latching onto this as like an actual realistic progression of events. This is obviously a dream, so that's okay. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Why does he keep dreaming of Data?
I mean, they were friends. Also, it's his fault that Data died. Also, that uniform does look pretty weird in high def.
She slept with number one. He named the dog correctly.
Ooh, I love that. The Golden Gate Bridge covered in solar panels. That's awesome.
Hey, it's the Stargazer model.
It is. Wonder if it's the same one.
I remember that.
I remember that too. You know, I'll bet they like, oh wow, the captain's yacht. That's really cool. I'll bet that all of this stuff is like stuff that fans have bought and they just like begged and pleaded for them to like loan it back for this episode. I'm one of those.
Or it's all the stuff that Marina Sirtis stole. They made her give it back.
Yeah. Season 6. It is Lal.
But Law didn't look like that, and Law died.
Well, Lal was configurable.
Commercial break.
Woo!
We're back.
Yay! But Lal like could have looked all sorts of ways.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll get to know that Paris is still a shithole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no wonder she got into Daystream. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, you know, everybody can probably do that in the future.
if you knew how to track him there, doesn't everybody else?
That's yeah. Memory Alpha MD. Oh my. Well, almost. It's 18 years, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard this before from Data's robot mother that didn't think she was a.
Android.
Yeah.
Then that should be pretty easy to get in.
You know, it's a great way to get suddenly not accepted anymore into college is to like murder some people and then run away.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Oh. Ooh. And no Starfleet security have shown up yet.
they're Romulan.
Yeah, they are. Oh God. The green mist.
Uh.
Well, so much for this TV show.
Commercial break.
Yay! Oh. Why aren't you in a hospital?
Don't you think like Starfleet might want to question him?
True. That's kind of what he's made a lifetime doing. Just like Star Trek has been doing.
Girardi?
Girardi. I'm just kidding. Let's have a beer. Well,
Haven't you seen Battlestar Galactica?
yeah, with like 21st century gaming chairs, just like the Orville.
So Starfleet made some androids that then went rogue and attacked them.
Yes. Oh, hey, I know that guy. Yeah, wait.
Commander Maddox.
Yeah. That's, yeah. Measure of a Man guy.
Mm-hmm. I bet he's hanging out on that planet with Zephyr and Cochrane.
I'll bet he's on Mars. That's a face that says, time to hang myself.
What?
Luke.
Let's just keep spinning.
Yeah.
Romulan reclamation site.
The Romulans reclaim themselves.
I am like hipster Romulan.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
That is the most hipster Romulan I've ever seen.
He is. What'd you say her name was?
Dr.
Something Asher, but
Asher?
he blew up. Huh. That's what she thinks. Yeah, pretty much. Bye. The dead brother pickup line works every time, man. Those look like regeneration pods.
That does look like a Borg ship.
That is a Borg ship. Little hints of the music from Balance of Terror. Or, yeah, Balance of Terror in there.
I hear it.
Nice. Hey, a commercial, like an actual commercial.
I'm sure this is a
Or is this the end? Oh, it's the end, maybe.
I think that was the end, and this is a
I think that was the end.
preview. Well,
This
what
is
do
like
you
a
think?
preview of next week, I guess. Well, I'm pausing it there because I don't need the preview for next week. I mean, I enjoyed that. It was engaging. I think it gave respect to the character. I don't think the directing was very good. And I say that specifically because I'm a little disappointed in Patrick Stewart, and that is not a thing that I think I've ever said before. Because he there were a lot of moments where he showed a lot of investment, a lot of emotion, but there were like Picard gets quiet. Picard is contemplative. He restrains himself. He listens before he speaks, and his strength. When he shows compassion and when he shows strength, he does it through being a rock, not by projecting out anything, but by absorbing and being a refuge. And they did that in action, she came to his home and all that, but he didn't behave that way. And when they were talking over tea, he was talking loudly, he sounded awkward, he was not, he did not, that wasn't Captain Picard talking there. There were moments when it really was, particularly during the interview, and all that, but I think I hesitate to blame that on him. I want to blame that on the director, and probably just on people didn't give that enough thought. But other than that, no, I'm interested. I still have no intention whatsoever of buying CBS All Access. So it'll be a long time before I see any more of it. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually, I enjoy the fact that we actually have Star Trek after Nemesis, which always frustrated me with why is everything going back to the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Very much.
Enterprise was an interesting concept, but then we got the new Kelvin movies, which was, let's go back again to the beginning. We're getting a new series, Discovery, which is back to the beginning again. I kind of am tired of...
name one prequel that has been good. Exactly.
I'm still thinking.
We've had 20 years of nothing but prequels. We've had Star Wars prequels. We've had this prequels and Star Trek prequels, and they keep trying, and it always sucks. And we know there's been potential in this because, for one, it's Star Trek: The Next Generation. That era had potential. We just knew it. But Star Trek Online has been exploring that, and I'm not as much. I don't think the books are as big a thing as they were back in the 90s when this stuff was in its heyday. But there have been books, the whole series Titan with Riker on the Titan and all that. And there's been just clamoring for this, and they just keep insisting on prequels, and they're always bad, and they're always frustrating.
In that sense, this really didn't frustrate me about that. It's
exactly. Yeah. At no point was I taken. I was starting to kind of like I said, with the way Picard was acting in the scenes at home, talking to her over tea. There, yes, I was starting to say, okay, this doesn't seem quite right. But at no point was I like, well, this is inconsistent with everything else I know. Because it is new territory. It's an original story. It's a continuation. It's not trying to fill in the gaps and retcon stuff,
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
I really appreciate they did put some thought into the details of the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that bit about, Attack on Mars. That's not something that had been in canon at all before. And it's not something, again, since this is, new territory, we don't have to go explain, well, why didn't we hear about that in, any of the 200 episodes, well, like, 600 episodes of Star Trek that happened, in the Next Generation time. It didn't happen 100 years before everything, so we don't have to explain it away. Oh, yeah, we managed to put the fire out when we invented planet fire suppressors that we've never seen before, or anything. Yeah, I mean, this is good. I think what I'm suddenly realizing is that I'm a lot more likely to overlook little problems if it's in a new world. I'm willing to overlook little things that aren't consistent with this character I know, because the character is in some place that I have never seen. I have never seen this part of the timeline. I don't know what to expect. There aren't things that I'm looking for to see if they do right. And there it is, like, every, and again, it goes back 20 years, like the Star Trek or the Star Wars prequels, like, we all knew about the Star Wars extended universe in the 90s. And then, oh, I can't wait to see the Outrider. And no, we're just going to do something totally different. Like you don't have that sense of, why aren't you doing the things that we think matter? Because we don't know what's there.
I mean, I think they covered a lot of the things that they needed to cover. Like if they're going to go talk about synthetics, they brought up, Bruce Maddox, who would be obviously the person working on it. They, for better or for worse, tied in the Kelvin timeline.
Well, yeah, and there is at least that much, elegance to the structure of the split-in timelines that this doesn't have to really touch that timeline. It can touch the events that led to it, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to say, "Oh yeah, Spock was lost, and then he met like a kind of weird, funny-looking version of himself in the past, and then died," because there's no reason that they would know that, Yeah, it feels good to see a new story, like to actually see a new story in a new setting. Not that the places, not that the places are any different, but the time is different, and it's like we don't have that history, and it feels both familiar and really surprising that it's not as familiar as it should be to be in that position. So, yeah, I approve. I'm good with this. But don't pay for CBS All Access. Force them to release it on Netflix or Hulu, just like they do everywhere else in the world. Like, the fact that we're Americans doesn't mean we should have to pay extra money. That part is stupid. I mean, Star Trek was always successful when it was syndicated. And as soon as they tried to tie it to one network, the original series canceled right away. Enterprise canceled right away. Discovery, are they making season 3? I don't know.
That's a good question. I think they are.
I don't care. Because I can't watch it,
I did see the they are making season 3.
Are they? Okay. Well, there you go. But
I did see the first episode, and man,
yeah, and I saw the first couple episodes fell off the back of a truck in front of my house, and I watched them, and I mean, okay, but I was looking at it like. I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, at this point in the timeline, none of these spaceships should look like this. None of this technology should look like this. None of these uniforms should look like this. None of what I'm seeing should be happening. And like, it pulls me out of it. It just does.
I kind of had the same thing for Enterprise for a while.
Yeah.
Where I enjoyed it, but I had to kind of take myself out of it and say, this is just going to be a separate show, and I'm going to pretend like it isn't in the same universe.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I had to do too, like you had to accept that nothing that they were going to encounter would ever be mentioned. They were going to shoehorn in references to stuff you've seen as a desperate, attempt to get viewers, like they had, the ancestor of Dr. Soong. Oh, wow. So we get Brent Spiner on the show. And then there was the final episode, which, talk about shoehorning. Yeah, and like the difference is like I'm looking right now at I paused the video on a frame where Picard is walking away from a taxi shuttle, and it's obviously like an original series movie era shuttle, and it's painted yellow and it says taxi on it. And like I can completely accept that.
Now I can see that shuttle.
Here, I'll screenshot it for you real quick. But I can accept this because it's like, it's older technology, and sure, why wouldn't they repurpose it? Think about the taxis you see driving around today. It's like busted up old Dodge Caravans and occasionally a Prius. I'll drop it in a private chat to you because Crowdrick hasn't seen this yet. It's coming your way.
There it is.
Yeah. That's obviously from like Star Trek V, but that's fine,
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with that. Because this is a setting that's connected to a world we know, but it's new territory. It's not territory where we have expectations that are being thwarted. So on that basis, I'm 100% behind this. So stay tuned.
I just kind of wish this wasn't on
go ahead.
CBS All Access. And
say that one more time for me. I lost you.
I just wish this wasn't on like CBS All Access. I was kind of there were hints that it might also be released on Amazon Prime, which I do have Amazon Prime, but nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be on a mainstream service. It needs to be on Hulu or on Amazon or on Prime. It needs to be on something where there's some reason to buy it. Like, what the hell else is on CBS All Access? Like Stephen Colbert, whatever. I don't care.
I don't care about the Late Show. Honestly, for me, the only thing I would watch on CBS All Access would be Star Trek Discovery, which wasn't enough for it, and then this show.
Yeah. And $10 a month for one TV show. No, not going to do that.
Yeah, especially when I can, get the DVD set.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's my biggest thing is access to it.
Yeah. And that's really the verdict. This is a likable thing. It's a decent product. I'm invested enough to care what happens next. As long as it doesn't get too gritty McDark sex, because that's not what Star Trek should be. Oh well. Well, we hope that you have enjoyed it. We'll upload episodes sometime more. I work myself to death at my new job.
You need to. You need to.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of why we don't record. I need to what?
You need to not do that. Not work yourself to death.
Yeah, there needs to be some serious looking at what I'm doing. But that's a conversation for another time. For now,
all right,
we'll sign off. Yeah, I'll keep it real. I don't remember. What do we say at the end of episode?
Make something up.
Keep the fire on the couch where it belongs.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.